What's going on, everyone? ODC here, and I'm back with another live action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the NECA Predator 30th anniversary. This is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Rick Hawkins. This is a really cool action figure I picked up, I want to say about a couple weeks ago. And yeah, this guy goes for very strange prices, but we'll get to that in a little bit. I just kind of want to give people a chance to kind of file into the live review. If you're watching this on playback, just try to be a little bit patient here, seeing as I am shooting this live initially. Yeah, Rick Hawkins looks pretty cool. I'm very pleased with finally picking him up. Hopefully this is the beginnings. I want to say Dutch really started it all, but hopefully this is the swift proverbial kick in the rear end that NECA needs to finish off the rest of our team. Seeing as that we got the Apollo Creed action figure, I wouldn't be surprised if we did get a Dylan down the road. But just taking a look at the figure really quick and the packaging, everything looks really good. Very pleased. Hopefully my lighting isn't too bright for you guys today, but I did get some new lighting finally in. I told you guys I was getting that, so I apologize if it's maybe it's a little bit too bright, but it's definitely an upgrade after from what I had earlier. So, but anyway, this is Rick Hawkins. He is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from 2018 from NECA, and this was actually kind of a surprise and kind of not a surprise, seeing as Shane Black played Rick Hawkins, and he did direct the new movie that came out in October, which I actually enjoyed. I know maybe a lot of people did not like it that much, especially the ending. I hear nothing but bitching and moaning about the ending, but to me, it's no different from any other Predator movie. To be honest with you, it was just as enjoyable. It's not better than the first one, but that's all personal preference. It's very subjective as far as movies go. That's why I never really listen to critics after I watch a movie. Critics can say this, they can say that, but it all comes down to how you feel about the movie. But I enjoyed The Predator that came out in October, so I didn't have too many issues with it. But anyway, we're talking about Rick Hawkins here. Rick Hawkins, just to give you a little rundown of his character and what he was all about. Rick Hawkins, they don't really ever specify his ranking or anything like that. So he is just a mercenary, no ranking in the military. He is a radio operator for Dutch's specific mercenary rescue team. And his name's Rick Hawkins, blah, 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 blah. He was born in Boston, Massachusetts, excuse me. His weapon of choice was the H&K MP5A3. He also used other weapons, like you see, he comes with a sidearm, he comes with a dagger, and he was also used in the movie to set up some traps. He used some M18A1 claymores. So that's just a rundown of what his loadout pretty much was for the time, and everything looks pretty cool. The figure's kind of basic, and there's some issues that I have with the specific points of articulation, but it's not the worst in the world, to be honest with you. But let me just set the figure aside really quick, and we'll get to the figure in a second. I kind of want to just run down the packaging really quick. Let me just pan up so you can see the packaging. Hopefully my camera will stay here. But here we have the 30th anniversary packaging, and this, like I said, this is one of the few San Diego Comic-Con exclusives that don't have an SDCC insignia or sticker on the packaging. So it's pretty much your typical 30th anniversary figures that came out. And like I said, this was an SDCC exclusive, so this came out last summer of 2018, but it says 30th anniversary on it. It says Rick Hawkins. You got a picture of Rick Hawkins on the side right here. Looks pretty good. I got to back off my lighting a little bit here. It's a little bit too much. So there you go. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. And then flipping it around, the other side just says Predator, and that says 30th anniversary on that side. And then on the back, you've got a picture of Rick Hawkins, and you've got some other figures that are offered in the line from the 30th anniversary line. I'm really actually pleased that they decided to re-release and go with this 30th anniversary line. I think it would have been a huge coup for them when this 30th anniversary line hit, to give us the rest of the team. And it's a shame that they can't. I don't know what's going on with the rights with Jesse the Body Ventura, and I'm not sure with some of the other guys, but I feel like it wouldn't be that difficult. Maybe Jesse might be the hardest one to get the rights to, but I mean, if you got Arnold, I mean, I would think that he's the toughest one to get the rights to, and you got his rights, so I feel like the other ones should kind of follow suit. That's just my opinion. That's just speculation on my part, but it would have been a nice little touch, and I'm sure this line probably would have sold better if we got the rest of that team. But we did get the beginning of the movie Dutch, where him and Dylan were doing their arm wrestle in the beginning. He pushing too many papers. But then we have the pretty much you've got every version of Dutch. You've got Jungle Extraction Dutch. You've got Jungle, I believe, Patrol Dutch, and then Jungle Assault Dutch, and then you've got one of my favorites, which is the Muddy Dutch. I love that one. And then over here, you've got the camoed clear variant of Predator, and then you have the concept Predator, and then you have the other Predator. I passed on all three of those Predators because I knew that NECA was going to come out with an ultimate Jungle Assault Predator from the first movie, so I kind of just passed on all of those, and I was like, no, I don't want the concept one. I don't want only the unmasked one. I want the ultimate one. And that one's coming out this month, so can't wait for that. But on the back here, as you can see, there's part of his, as you can see, the Rick Hawkins was the jokester of the group. And obviously they can't add in the beginning of that joke, but we all know the joke. Right here, she said, "Why did you say that twice?" I said, "I didn't." We all know it's the vagina joke. But here's a little plot synopsis in the bottom portion if you want to go ahead and read that. If you're watching this on playback, you can pause it and read it if you want to. But there you go. Okay, so as far as that read up, that's how it goes. And then in the front, you just have a picture of Rick Hawkins. Very nice picture, actually, to be honest with you. And that face scan looks very on point, to be honest with you. So very nicely done with the packaging. We'll get that out of the way, and we'll bring the figure back in here because that's the point, right? Let me just check, peruse through chat really quick just to make sure I'm not skipping anybody's messages. Brennan, he came out last year of 2018. He was a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. You can find him on eBay. I think he goes for around the price range of anywhere from 40 to about 70 bucks, depending on who you buy it from. Yeah, I've seen those customs too, Brennan. Yeah, they look pretty good. So I definitely can't complain about this figure, to be honest with you. I think it looks pretty good. He's very simple as far as that is concerned. You can tell that there's some other pieces that are used for this, but I want to say that the majority of him is new tooling, or a new sculpt, excuse me. As far as the head, obviously that's going to be the Shane Black head. Looks pretty good, if I do say so myself. I don't know why I'm having focusing issues. There's nothing else in... There we go. Maybe that'll help. It's just not wanting to focus right now. It's always when I do a live review that it just doesn't want to focus as much as I want it to. But the face is on point. I really do like it. The glasses obviously have some sort of bifocal to them, which is pretty cool. I like that. But it looks pretty cool. I like that Hawkins always had this camo, and it was just kind of like mutton chops camo. I thought that was always funny. But obviously you can see he does come with a gun and a holster, sidearm and a holster. And then on the backpack, looks pretty cool. We've got some, looks like some wiring going throughout his backpack, seeing as that he is the radio operator. It makes perfect sense as to why he would have a very large backpack. I kind of stuck that knife in there just because he doesn't have a sheath for it. And it actually, I looked at the original character design. He did not have a sheath like Dutch and some of the other guys did in Dutch's squad. But so I just kind of stuck that knife right there just so it doesn't get lost. But overall, I'm pretty pleased with this figure. And I want to say I do have some gripes with it though. I'll get to that in a little bit, but I kind of want to go through the sculpt and detail really quick. Let me just get this MP5 out of his hand really quick, and we'll go through that. As far as his sculpt and detail does go, the face, like I said, looks really good. I like the camo mutton chops. It looks pretty good. And then the eyes are pretty well done. Don't have any issues with any googly eyes or anything like that. So he doesn't look derpy or anything. The hat camo looks pretty on point. Very nicely done. Each character didn't all have the same type of camo. They kind of had a woodland style variant BDU. So I guess you can consider it just a variation of that. But it looks pretty nice. Very nicely done. I really do like the sculpt of this backpack. It looks very well done. Very burly and bulky as he did have in the movie. So that I'm pleased with, and I'm pretty sure that this torso piece is a brand new piece as well. So it really has me wondering, I mean, are we going to be getting this piece reused in the future? Maybe they'll re-release him when they decide to re-release the whole team. But who knows down the line. Maybe they'll give us a variation with him in a t-shirt, because I think he did have a t-shirt towards the end when he got the worst end of the deal from the Predator. But the camo looks pretty nice. The sculpting is, it's kind of hidden within the camo. There's a lot of greens going on. Everything's kind of almost blending together. But you can see the nice green mixed with the olive drab right there. Looks very nicely done as far as that's concerned. So I don't have any issues there. He has a black t-shirt underneath. And I'm pretty sure in the movie he had a brown t-shirt on. But maybe that's just me. The camo looks good. He comes with some long sleeves right here. Very nicely done overall with that. The gloves look pretty good. He does come with some fingerless gloves. I want to say that Rick Hawkins looks very similar to Boomstick, to be honest with you. maybe me and Rick Hawkins have a lot in common. Hopefully, being the jokesters of our or the idiots of our own squad, I want to say, but idiots in the endearing sense, not the literal sense. But the pants look pretty good. The cargo pants look nicely done as far as the camo goes, and the sculpt for the side pockets, very nicely done with those. And then we got his combat boots. These are actually still like the style combat boots that I use for airsoft. I think they work pretty well. They're not the best as far as when it's raining or wet. I usually use some different boots for those, but these are very similar to what I use for those boots. But very nicely done with the sculpt and detail on the buckles, the straps, and everything. The laces, excuse me. And then underneath, we even have some sculpting for some treads, which is very nice. So, in case you were wondering about that. And then we have some trademarks on the bottom, but I'm pretty sure no one gives a shit about that. The pants are from Rambo, probably. I don't know that for sure. I don't have my Rambo finger? No, this is a finger. I don't have my Rambo figure here, but that could be the case. Okay, so as far as sculpt and detail go, I would definitely give this a 2 thumbs up. I think it's pretty solid. I would say that maybe the sculpt and detail are a little bit better on Dutch than Rick, but there is a little bit of variation between the camo. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit different from character to character, which I guess I don't really mind. It's just something I'm pointing out, but as far as personal preference goes. But I think he looks pretty good head to toe as far as sculpt and detail. So as far as his articulation does go, now this is where I start having gripes. It does say he does have 20 points of articulation. Some NECA figures come with 30 points of articulation, like the previous figure I did the other couple days ago, which was the Predator Ultimate Ahab action figure. That had 30 points of articulation. Obviously, that's a different body entirely. I know these smaller human bodies are probably going to have a little bit less articulation, but I feel like NECA needs to start giving us double jointed elbows with human figures as well. Double jointed knees too would be nice, but we don't get that, and that's kind of what he is suffering from here. But we'll get to that in a second. Obviously, the head can do a full 360 rotation if you want it to. I know you don't need to do a full 360 rotation, but I'm just pointing it out. The head can look up about that far, and it can look down, and it can pivot side to side. So really good range of motion in that head as far as it pivoting. Let's check and see if we got any jive turkeys. No jive turkeys, no gobbles, but, you know, there you go. The arms go up about that far. They go down, full 360 rotation right here. And the arm mirrors the other side as well. We have a single jointed elbow, and that is not very much. Now, this is kind of my issue as to some other Predator figures on their own, too, including the Lost Predator, the Lost Armored Predator, excuse me. He had, like, no range of motion in those elbows at all. It's like comparing some of those older Predator figures, while the sculpt and the detail is there, the articulation is just not all that great, to be honest with you. But I'm just pointing it out, like I said. But that's all you get. You get not even 90 degrees with that. That's kind of pathetic with the arm. And really, when you're trying to get him to look down the sights of his MP5A3, he doesn't really want to do it. He kind of wants to hold it hip style and shoot from the hip. So just pointing that out, that it's kind of lacking in that. He can swivel in the elbow, and then he can swivel in his wrist. He does have a ball jointed wrist, which is kind of old. Let's get those hinge joints going. Come on, NECA. And then he can pivot up and down. So, I mean, the ball joint does work nice. It's okay. It's not the end of the world, but I just prefer hinge joints instead over ball joints. I just feel like it's a little bit easier to work with, and the pegs are a lot deeper and stronger than ball peg joints. I feel like ball peg joints just don't hold up the way hinge joints do. So that's just my personal preference. I know other people maybe prefer that, but that's just me. He does have an ab crunch. It is there. It's just hidden due to the sculpting of his jacket here, but he can crunch forward. He can crunch back. He can pivot side to side, and I'm trying to hold the waist so his legs don't give the illusion that he's moving, but he can pivot there, and he can swivel also. So there's that. He can do the splits nicely. Legs go forward. Legs go back. He does have a single jointed knee, which is not 90 degrees, which I wish that was better too. And then he does have a swivel at the knee. And then he can point the heel on the foot about that far, can point the toe. And then he does have ankle pivot. It's very limited, but it is there. And then he has 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet. So that's pretty much it for his articulation. He is lacking. I want to say the head articulation is really good. The arms at the shoulder joint are pretty well done. The ankle articulation is okay. I mean, it gets him to stand proper, and that's pretty much all you need from that. But overall, I would say that the articulation is a little bit lacking. I'm just going to be honest here. Dem Guts, what's up, man? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. Leo, how's it going, man? Okay, so as far as his accessories go, let me get him out of here, and then we'll work with our accessories. Let me get my tweezers out here so I don't have my stupid hands in the way. All right, so the first accessory he comes with is his, I want to say this is a Colt 45. Obviously, it's nickel-plated, but it looks pretty good. Overall, nicely done with the sculpt. And I want to say that this might be the same thing as Dutch's sidearm as well. So they might have just included this like they did with Dutch. Let me go ahead and just test that out really quick and see if there's any differentiation between the two. And, oh yeah, there is. This is Dutch's, and he came with a deagle. So there's a big difference there. Obviously, I want to say the deagle looks a little bit on the smaller side from Dutch, but just to point that out, they are different. So Rick comes with a 45, and Dutch comes with a Deagle, just to point that out. So overall, nice sculpt, though. Nice black paint for the handle, and then we've got a silver plastic for the rest of the 45. So looks really good, though. I've always loved 45s. 1911s are one of my favorite sidearm pistols. All right, up next we've got his dagger. You know, it looks pretty good. I'm not, you know, it's a dagger. It looks nice. No complaints here about that. You can actually see the sculpting of where the edged blades are, as you can see, or the edged side. And it looks like the other side is edged as well, as I'm trying to use the light to manipulate that sharpened edge, as you can see right about here, right there. So I think it looks pretty good, though. Very nice sculpt. I don't think this is the same as Dutch's. Let me double check here, because I just want to make sure. And it actually is the exact same one. Let me get them both in frame here, just so you can see what I'm talking about. I don't have another pair of tweezers, so we're just going to have to go with my hand. I know I'm holding this upside down, but it's the best I can do without bumping into the camera. But that's pretty much the same exact sculpt right there, as you can see. And then we'll get Dutch's knife back in his sheath right here. There we go. And then we'll get his gun back in his holster. There we go. And Dutch is all okay. All right. All right, and the last piece to the puzzle is his go-to weapon, the HK MP5A3. Now, a lot of them, I think Poncho had 2 of them. He had one in his backpack, and then he was patrolling with one during the movie. And then I want to say Dylan had 2, especially when he was going toward. I think he might have taken one of Poncho's, though. I don't know. It's hard to remember these things, but he did. Dylan used 2 of these as well during his final death scene. And I think Blaine had one too. They pretty much all had one except for Dutch. He had his M16 with a grenade launcher, the M203 grenade launcher on it. Whew, I'm going way off target here. Anyway, the HK MP5A3 looks really good. Very pleased with it. The clip does not come out. It's all one sculpt. The sling is all like a rubbery type plastic. And then you have some silver painted for the little hook portion. So it's for the sling to connect to the MP5A3. Looks really good. Don't have any issues with this sidearm at all, or excuse me, this submachine gun. But looks really nice. And that's pretty much it for his accessories. So moving him back in, I don't know what pose he's doing, but let's just see how well everything fits in his hand. Now the dagger doesn't really fit that well in his hands. I'm going to be honest with you. It's pretty loose. As you can see, it's just kind of sitting in there like that. It looks kind of silly. And then if we try to put it in the other hand, let me just get the other hand up here. The other hand's even more open. So, yeah, it doesn't even want to go in the hand. So, I don't know. Maybe this knife was a little redundant. Maybe we didn't need another knife. But it is there. Let's go ahead and try to put his sidearm in his hand. And the sidearm fits pretty well in his hand. I don't have any issues with that. So, that looks pretty good. Woodman, what's up, man? Welcome, sir. I know. Why do they do such tiny little handles? I know. Let's see if the gun will fit in his other hand. So maybe if I want to have him dual wielding, I could. Now he doesn't have a trigger finger in this hand, but the gun will fit in his hand. And you can always do the trick that I always do, that I'm sure a lot of people do, which is you could take an X-Acto knife and just kind of, separate that finger from the other fingers. If you don't care about modding your figure a little bit, just to get another trigger finger in that hand in case you want to have him dual wielding, you could. I know he didn't dual wield in the movie, but whatever. You can set him up any way you want, right? It's up to your imagination. But I do actually appreciate that he did come with a holster for his gun right here attached to his backpack. I think that's actually a pretty cool looking little holster right there. And I actually do like that they actually even took the time to paint that little stud right there, or for the clip for the holster. It looks pretty good. It's a little sloppy, but it's nice that they even tried, I guess. But everything looks pretty good there. Like I said, I'm pleased that at least he has a gun holster. The knife, I can, worst case scenario, I could put it back the way I had it, right in here. It's not the biggest deal in the world, Oh, wait, that's kind of stretched out. It's just kind of laying in there, so if I do move him too much, it'll fall out. But overall, nothing else you can really do with that knife, to be honest with you, besides kind of have it holstered, seeing as he doesn't really hold it all that well. Now, the MP5 does fit in this hand nicely. It doesn't fit as snug as I would like, but as you can see, there's a little bit of a gappage right there. You can see the air going through there. It's not the biggest deal in the world. It's just something I'm pointing out. But I'm not 100% pleased with how he's holding it. To be honest with you, I would hope for a little bit of a tighter grip, seeing that this is his main weapon. But still looks good in his hand nonetheless. But now, if you try to get him to two-hand this guy, the problem with this is that the sculpting of this bicep right here is kind of getting in the way of the bend, and you kind of need him to go up maybe another 3 degrees in bending ratio just to get him. But you can kind of work with this wrist joint here, and then this is what I always do. I always bend that way, and then I bring this up, and then I try to kind of work with that, and then you can kind of have him, two-handing it like this, just kind of patrolling through the jungle, like so. You can kind of have him like that if you want to. So, there's always that. But he can technically two-hand it. He just can't really look down the sights all that well. That's the unfortunate thing about it. But overall, I mean, you can display him pretty well. Oh, I didn't add in, he's got upper thigh swivel. I'm sorry. Jesus. Oh boy. My lighting is flipping out on me. I don't know what just happened. Okay. There's a hidden holster for the knife. Where? I'm not seeing it. I know it's hidden, but I'm not seeing it. Explain where it is, because I would like to know, Leo. I know, the 80s glasses, right? Leo's saying that there's a hidden holster, but I don't see it. And I've had this guy out of package for quite a while. There's a holster for the gun. I'm not seeing a holster for the knife anywhere. There's nothing on the boots. There's nothing on the backpack except for the gun holster. And there's no knife holster on this guy. So, right side of the backpack. Oh shit, you're right. Look at that. Look at that. Well, everyone give Leo a props. Leo, you are the man. He has a holster, actually. There we go. There you go. Good job, Leo. Good on Leo. Hey, good on you, bro. I didn't even see that. They didn't even say that on the, even when I looked on the packaging, it didn't show anything. So, I guess it kind of shows it right here. I'll show you really quick. So everyone give Leo some props in the comments. You can kind of see it right there, but you wouldn't. I mean, shit. I wouldn't have seen that, you know? And I didn't see it. So thank you, Leo, for clarifying that. I appreciate it, buddy. Talk about camouflage, yeah. It was, you know what it was? It was, I just, you glance over it so well because the backpack is just all black, so you can't really see it all that well. And then when you actually look like this, even still, you're glancing over it with your eye. But thank you, Leo, for pointing that out. Now I have a place to put that, and it looks proper, so that's good. So. Feel like a dipshit now. I'm like, I don't see it. Where is it? All right, trying to get that damn hand back in there. There we go. Now he's really holding it. There we go. That's a little bit better. Let me fix this hand. All right, so there is him fully holding it there. So there's Rick Hawkins. I mean, there's not really much else to him. I'm a complete dipshit. I not only did not include upper thigh swivel in the articulation section, but I didn't even notice that damn holster for the knife. So there it is. In case anyone was wondering, the holster for his knife is in his backpack. Nicely done. Well done, sir. Well played, sir. But if you guys have any questions about the figure, go ahead and pop that in. Do I remember the name of the minigun? Blaine's minigun? But this is the part of the live review where I just kind of like to chill. So if you're watching this on playback and you're not watching this live, then you can go ahead and skip this part if you want to. But I usually like to talk to... no, I don't. I don't remember the name. Hey, man, you're bleeding. I ain't got time to bleed. Oh, okay. You got time to duck? My favorite line is, this shit'll make you a sexual tyrannosaurus. And then Macho goes, put this on your sore ass. I love it. So good. So many good lines in that movie. All right, so we'll do size comparisons really quick, actually, because I did want to do that. Oh, shit, his head just popped off. Well, pop back on, you little nerd. Oh, I think it's because I had it posed a certain way. All right, there you go. All right, so we'll do some size comparisons really quick. And I'll just get him kind of... Try to get him straight-legged as much as possible and just neutral as much as I can. All right, so there we go. All right, so the first size comparison we'll do, let me get that up a little higher. Can you take me higher? God, Creed. Ugh. Anyway, enough of that silliness. All right, where's my Luke Cage? Because we're going to do Luke Cage first. All right, so first we'll do Luke Cage, which is on the Hyperion body mold, and then we've got, Multiple Man on the Bucky Cat body mold right there. So there's your comparisons with that. So there you go. And then next up, we'll do our usual. I'll switch it up this time. We'll put Psylocke on this side. Then we'll do Valkyrie over here. Valkyrie is a tall woman. That is a big girl right there. She's taller than Rick. I think Rick is 5'11" in the movie. So, in case you were wondering, he is 5 foot 11 inches. All right, next up, we'll do... Who are we going to do here? We will do these two DC Universe Classics. Hawkman, and we'll do the WWE Elite Shawn Michaels. So there you go with that. Made it through the Predator mission in the game. It took me a while. Yeah, I know. Yeah, took me a while too, man. Took me a while too. All right, next up, we'll do. What we're gonna do? We'll do a couple Black Series figures. You know, why not? Do the Gamorrean Guard. He's just a wee little potato man. A wee little man. And then we'll do my favorite Han Solo action figure, or one of them. Do the Bespin Han Solo. Oh, I got Predators to compare. Don't you worry. He's coming. They're coming. I might have to go get some more, too. I got a whole gang of them. So there you go. Gamorrean Guard. And then we'll just bring in Moloch. So there you go with those. All right, next up we'll do. All right, we'll do these. Oh God, my eyeballs are like. Do a old school figure. We'll do an old Spawn the Dark Ages figure. And then we'll do something silly. We'll do we'll do a little thing. Just a little thing. There you go. Now I'm just being an idiot. Alright, there we go with that. And then up next, I might have to go get a couple more figures, so you guys might have to bear with me a minute. But we'll do Vicor. And then we'll do, that's correct. It's, oh shit. That's correct, ladies and gentlemen. It's Vicor on the left from the Motu Classics, and it's Sir Gideon Evans brand on the right. Okay, goodbye. See, there you go. All right. And next up, we'll do, I'm going to go grab a couple figures. I'll grab some more Predators. I'll be right back. Spawn creature is better than a Predator. I mean, the detail is there. I will say that. McFarlane's pretty dope, man. McFarlane is a dope. Got him. Game over. Oh, game over, man. Oh. All right. Oh, you're all still here. Thank God. All right. I got a whole bunch of Predators that we'll do. I gotta shoot a bunch of these Predator reviews. I just never did them. All right, so next up we'll do 2 Colonial Marines. We've got Corporal Rick Hawkins, and then we've got whatchamacallit? Game over, man. That is a great Bill Paxton head sculpt, by the way. Comes with multiple heads back. That was actually part of that 2-pack that came out, I want to say about a year and a half ago. Really good 2-pack. So if you haven't picked that up, go snatch it up, man. But there you go with the Colonial Marines. There we go. All right, and then we'll do We got to bring in Dutch, right? So we'll bring in Dutch right there. And that's a good size for Dutch. He's larger than Hawkins. And then we'll bring in, like I said, I don't have the Jungle Predator yet. But once the Ultimate version comes out, I believe it's like this month or next month, whatever. Here is Predator 2, City Hunter Predator. That's part of the Ultimate one. So there you go with that. Cool figures, man. And then up next, we'll get him out of here. We'll go with, we'll go with the AVP Scar. Okay. That's a big boy right there. Nice, man. And then we'll go with the current Fugitive Predator. He's a little bit on the smaller side. I guess he's pretty tall. He's just as tall as Scar. He's pretty big. I wonder if we're going to get that new hybrid Predator. Pretty sure that would happen, but yeah, I'm Woodman. I'm still using my iPad. I got a new iPad. I had an iPad Air 2 before. That's what I was using before. And then this is the iPad Pro, the newest one. So it's pretty good. So there you go with those guys. I still have to shoot the I can't talk. I still have to shoot the Fugitive Predator review too. So there's a whole bunch of Predator reviews coming. And then, all right, two of my favorites right here. The Serpent Hunter Predator. And then the Elder Predator. Yes, his mask keeps falling off, so I just took it off. So that is, the Elder Predator is one of my favorites. And so is the Clan Leader. That guy's so big and burly, though, I didn't want to bring him up. But he is downstairs. But there you go. There's a bunch of Predators for you. You asked, and you shall receive. Yeah, Dem Guts. I want to get some of the Hayatoy. I want to get some of the Hayatoy Predator figures too. Look pretty good. I think they're 3 3/4 inch. I've seen them placed up next to G.I. Joes, and they look pretty on point. They might be a little bit like around the same height as G.I. Joes or Marauders figures, which might upset some people because they're supposed to be larger, but you know, you can't blame Hayatoys for not upscaling a little bit because it's supposed to be its own, you know, toy company. But yeah, I actually, you know what happened, Woodman? My screen cracked on my iPad Air 2, and because I bought the warranty, you know, I paid extra for that warranty that, you know, people are like, oh, I'm never going to use that warranty, and people don't pay for it. Thank God I paid for it because I got this free. So that one paid for this one. So, and that was a couple years. I've had that for a few years. I want to say about 2.5 years, and they sent me a brand new iPad Pro. So I think it's like the 12.5 or the 13. I can't remember which. Whatever one is the newest one. You know, it works. It's great. It's actually like the top model, and it's integrated too, so I can use my cellular data with it. So that's fantastic. You know. Yeah, always get, if you're gonna get an iPad, always pay for the warranty. I always do that because electronics they always go to shit. Just the way things are. Yeah, the camera's a lot better. The lighting, my lighting is so much better now. I mean, obviously the figures are far away, so it's a little bit dark, but once I bring them in, the lighting is a lot bright. Oh, sorry there, Rick. Rick. I fix his leg here. My leg was all crooked, ODC. What do you want me to do? All right, so there we go. I got to shoot reviews of this guy. I can't remember if I did him, but if I, oh well, I'll redo it. I know I didn't do any reviews of him, which I should. He's a big boy too. I think he shares the same body with Scar for the most part. Even the armor, I want to say. Well, not all of the armor. Like the armor is a little bit different. Oh no, it's the same on the forearm. Huh. But the biceps are different. The belts are the same, but he comes with like this cloth cape, and the feet are different. But everything else is almost it's almost the same. Except he's got this like trophy belt bandolier going across his chest. Let me get Rick out of the way real quick. He's got this like dope ass trophy belt. I love this guy. Let me go get his mask so you can just see what it looks like. All right, I'm going to spoil you guys, okay? Brought in 2 more Predators. I have a couple more down there, but I'm not bringing everybody up here. I'm not trying to do all that today. But let me see if I can get this back in his hand. There we go. That's much better. All right, I'm trying to stage 2 more Predators here. But there you go. There's the Elder Predator. And here's his mask with his mask on. Now this mask is a kind of a pain in the rear end to get it to stay on. But it does look good when it's on. Oh, see, there it goes. Damn mask. Keep your little mask on, bud. Come on. Keep your mask on. Don't be a jerk. All right, let me figure this out. Let me figure this out. Wish they had a tab on here. Just give him once a little tab. All right, hopefully that'll stay. Stay. There we go. There you go. I know he's way off camera. Hold on a minute. There you go. So there you go. You got the Elder Predator with his mask on. And let me lean this back a little bit because there's a couple more I'm going to show. Just in case you guys don't know about them or whatever. Oh my God, his mask stayed on the whole time I took him off the table. Wow. All right, 2 more which are really cool. I think this is the spiked tail Predator. He's pretty cool, man. He's a little bit on the shorter side. I want to say he's one of the shorter ones. But he is really cool as far as like looking unique and whatnot. He's got this like removable mask which you can take off. He's got another mask on top of that mask. He looks really awesome. I love this head sculpt. And then if you look at his braid, holy Toledo. Look at that. Holy shit. And then his plasma caster is actually unique to him too. It just kind of plugs right into his back right there. Looks pretty awesome. Look at that sculpt though with that. Shit. This guy looks awesome. He's another one of my favorites. I just love all the Predator designs and how unique they are to each other. It looks so cool. He's a little bit on the loosey-goosey side though. I remember I bought him at Toys R Us. He was one of my the last Toys R Us figures that I bought. But he looks cool. He's got like these sharp claws over here on this side. He's got kind of like a regular hand on that side. This guy's really awesome. Very underrated. You don't hear a lot of people talking about this guy, but mine is just really... He's got the loose leg syndrome, as Chapman Films would say. So, if you don't know about the spiked tail Predator, try and pick him up. Find him for a good price. He's a good one. He's a good egg. All right, last one I'll show. Then we'll go back to Rick here. I'll probably end the review. Ow, I'm burning my hand. My bulbs are... All right, this is the Shaman Predator. I'm going to try and get his staff in here. He's from Predator 2, and there's his staff. As you can see, my light bulb in the way now. There you go. Looks pretty dope. But I would suggest being very careful with his staff. It's very easy to break. That's what I know from him. He's a very delicate soul. You want to be careful with this guy. Whoa, burp. Sorry, excuse me. But he does have a unique sculpt to him. Like I want to say his forearms are pretty unique looking. He's got kind of like those Batman gauntlet style things. And then as far as his paint scheme, he's like kind of like gray. He's got like a light gray and then a dark gray. And then for his, I guess you want to call it a crotch covering, he actually has a sculpted disc holster right here. So you can't remove that disc, unfortunately. But it is there. It looks pretty cool, though. I think it looks nice. But this is pretty much all he really came with was, what he was seen with in Predator 2 at the end with Harrigan. Hopefully, one day we get a Harrigan figure. I'm still waiting on that, man. I really want a Detective Harrigan. That would be awesome. But that's Shaman Predator. He's a little bit on the smaller side, too. I want to say that he might be... he's on the smaller Predator side, as you can see. Right here, I'll back him up. And then I'll just bring in Scar over here. He's on the larger body. There you go. He's much taller than the Shaman Predator and bulkier too. He's beefier, So, but there's the majority of my Predator figures, in case you guys were wondering. This is why I like to do live reviews, because I like to not only just focus on the figure at hand here, which is good old Ricky. Ricky. If you guys have any questions, I can always, give you... Oh, my lighting is dog shit right now. There we go. Bright lights, Mogwai. But that's Rick. Final verdict, 2 thumbs up. Go get him. I really wouldn't recommend spending $70 on this guy. He's really, I want to say around a $25, $30 figure that's now going for $70, which I think is way too much. Even though he's a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, I would almost recommend that you wait because he might be re-released. NECA loves dishing out exclusives like even the Ninja Turtles. And for years they were saying, oh, no, we can only release them as San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. And then what'd they do? They released the Turtles at the movie Turtles in GameStop as a GameStop exclusive. So maybe we'll get Shane Black again. I know they do have the rights to his likeness, so they can always reuse it. But I don't recommend spending $60 to $70 on this guy. I just don't think it's worth it. 50's kind of pushing it. I would say anywhere from 40 to 50 is for an exclusive is a good price. I don't really think I can recommend going over 50 though. But if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. It's up to you. But that's just my recommendation. That's all. Yeah, I know the AVP Predators were on steroids. They were huge. Very, very true. Reminds you of the skunk dude from Motu. Oh, the head reminds you of an owl. Was that the spiked tail predator? I really like the design of the fugitive predator. I think he looked really cool. It's just a shame they never give. Whenever predators have fought each other in a movie, it never seems to last very long. It's a very short battle, but then it seems like that when they battle a human, it takes longer. Makes zero sense, But yeah, Rick looks pretty good. Like I said, he's simple when it comes down to it. Let's get Dutch back in here. Get Dutch over here. He's pretty simple. All the human figures are going to be pretty simple, but I do want to have the rest of this team. You've teased us with 2 now, NECA. Come on. Give us the rest. We got to finish this off. Let's go. I'm glad that we're finally getting the deluxe edition or the ultimate edition of the Jungle Predator from the first movie. So that'll be a nice little coup for us collectors to get. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys have any more questions, comments, concerns before I end the review here? Because we're going on an hour. If not, I'll give you guys like another 10 to 15 seconds to get your questions in before I let you go. Now I'm going to be playing around with Predator figures all day. Or all night. Day. It's nighttime, you dipshit. I really like these double jointed elbows that they used for the new Predator. It's like they're like high. It's like a high double jointed elbow. Like there's one at the bicep. It's really good though. I really do like it. But I like these wrist gauntlets too. Those look pretty cool. It's a nice little update, you know. Yeah, they do look good together. They definitely do look good. I still love, this is one of my favorite Arnold figures right here. I mean, this and the T2, I want to say Cyberdyne one where he's got the minigun. Those two figures. I did that review a long time ago. Oh my God, years ago. I want to say 3 years ago. But yeah, that's a dope looking figure too. Yeah, I pointed that out. Their camo is a variation of the Woodland camo. I want to say it's more traditional Woodland on Dutch than as opposed to Hawkins. A wash and some dry brushing would bring them to life. Yeah, I think they look pretty good. Either way. Oh my God, Billy would be amazing. Blaine, can you imagine Blaine? I mean, they already have that minigun. They could just give us that minigun that we got with Cyberdyne Terminator 2. Come on, stand properly there. 10 hook. There we go. Yeah, but Billy would definitely be awesome. You got to give us I think it was an M4A1 with a shotgun on the bottom. You got to give us that, you know. Old Painless. Stick it around. He takes his big ass. I love that part when he takes his big ass knife right here. And he throws it in that dude's chest. Stick it around. You gotta love it. Looks good though. Very pleased. But okay, if you guys don't have any more questions, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Hope I answered everybody's questions as best to my ability. But try to stick to my live reviews on the weekends. I mean, I kind of do shit randomly sometimes too, because it's, you know, how it goes. I can't keep my eyes off this horn-headed Predator. Him and Ahab, man. Goddamn. Ahab, I want to say Ahab. God, there's so many cool different designs. It's very tough to rank these. I might have to rank my top 10 Predator figures down the road. I might have to do that. There's so many cool, unique designs. And even though that like the Serpent Hunter, I want to say Scar, Celtic, and what's the third one that was from AVP? It was Scar, Celtic, and what the heck is his name? Scar, Celtic. I can't think of it. Let me know in the comments. What was his name? I can't think of it off the top of my head. But anyway, between Scar, Celtic, the third one, the Serpent Hunter, the Elder Predator, they're all kind of using the same body, but they all have little things that differentiate them. Whether it's weaponry that they come with, whether it's obviously the head sculpt's gonna be different, but like Celtic had those staffs with the skull heads on them. He had like two of them attached to his back. It's just cool little things that like differentiate them. Like the Serpent Hunter is awesome. He comes with like 2 wrist gauntlets, and then that xenomorph style head helmet. Excuse me, head helmet. But looks really awesome. Thanks, Woodman. You have a good night too, buddy. What the heck is that? The third one's name. God dang it! Don't know his last name. Son of a bitch. My dog is cleaning himself right now. Now he's looking at me. Weird. Okay, anyway, sorry. All right, so I'm going to end it here. Let me get Dutch out of here. Goodbye, Dutch. All right, so I'll end it here. Chopper, that's his name. There we go. Thanks, Leo, to the rescue again. Leo to the rescue again, as Chris Jericho would say. Again. Come on, focus. Focus. There we go. But that's going to do it for Rick Hawkins here for the NECA San Diego Comic-Con exclusive 30th anniversary Rick Hawkins action figure. That was a mouthful. But yeah, that's it for him. Definitely, like I said, a 2 thumbs up here. Go get him if you can. Don't spend the whole piggy bank on him. But I think you're going to want to get him. Hopefully they re-release this guy down the road. Like I said, if I had to bet, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I were, I would say that they're going to probably re-release this guy. And hopefully Shane Black gets another shot at another Predator movie. I actually liked his movie quite a bit. But that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Be sure to hit that like button if you like the review and you like the content and you want to see more. If you didn't like the review, be sure to give me a thumbs down and let me know in the comment section as to how I can improve my content. Subscribe if you want to. If not, that's cool too. But if you do, be sure to hit the bell for notifications until you see 2 little parentheses hanging over the bell. This way you'll get all notifications. And yeah, that's it for me.